here in the audience, and we also have people joining us for the recorded audio and video portion. So thank you everybody for joining us. My name is Jeff Holzmann. I'm the president of IncrediMail here in New York. IncrediMail is publicly traded on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol MAIL, M-A-I-L. And we have about 20 minutes today. I'm going to give you kind of an overview of where, what the company does, where the company comes from, what our products are, and most importantly, how we make money. And then, of course, I'm going to leave some time for your questions. So the company was originally founded in 1999, all the way out in Tel Aviv, Israel. It's been around for about 10 years. It went public in January of 2006 on NASDAQ. We've since also dual listed on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. New management and strategy came on board in February of 2008. It's a profitable, cash flow positive, and a zero debt operation. We have over 11 million active users in over 100 countries. We sell our products in 100 countries in over 10 different languages. We generate about 1.7 million new registered downloads every month. And those numbers become really important because as we start talking about how we generate revenue from taking those users basically and delivering their search queries to our search partners. And I'll explain how that works and how we're able to generate revenue. But the important metric to remember here is we generate about 100 million search queries every single month. Consumer internet software. We have 4 products today, and they're all in the areas of email, instant messaging, desktop enhancement, which is wallpapers and screensavers, and another product called PhotoJoy, which is in the space of digital photography. The reason we chose those areas are because they are literally the most popular areas online. For the most part, we give these applications away for free in exchange for their search queries, and then we take those search queries and deliver them to our search partners. We have a heavily advertised partnership with Google, and also a very good work contractual agreement with InfoSpace, 2 companies I'm sure you've heard about. This is kind of a snapshot of our products. Most people get a very good understanding of what we do and who uses our products simply by looking at these snapshots. IncrediMail, our flagship product, also bears the same name as the company. Hayo, PhotoJoy, and Magentic. Basically what our applications do is they let the user personalize and customize their internet experience. For email, we let you add different backgrounds, sounds, animation, and 3D effects. We do the same for instant messaging, wallpapers, and screensavers, heavily dependent use on 3D graphics. A little bit more about every individual product, and then we're going to tie it all together into the business model. Over 7 million active users in 100 countries. We actually handle about 300 million emails sent every month. So if you know your industry and you know the numbers, that's a very, very big number. It kind of gives you an indication of how big we are as a player in that market. More than 1 million new registered downloads every month. The demographic is actually quite interesting. We're skewed slightly towards female, and we're skewed slightly towards an older demographic. In fact, over 30% or so of our users are over the age of 40, which is a staggering number. And it happens to be a very ideal demographic because it's exactly the type of demographics that advertisers are trying to get to. And we have them as a captive audience. Looking at our Hayo product, Hayo is very similar to IncrediMail in the sense of productivity and usage. Basically what Hayo does is it lets you enhance your experience when it comes to instant messaging through the use of sounds, animations, winks, those 3D effects. This product is extremely viral. Again, it's one of those products where if one kid has them in school in the morning, everybody in school has them by the end of the day. By its very nature, what are you doing with instant messaging? You're chatting with somebody else. If the other party doesn't have Hayo installed, you're literally distributing it in the process. So our users are our marketers. They are our salespeople. Magentic is heavily dependent on predefined graphics, and PhotoJoy uses your own digital photography, your own digital photos. But they both let you do pretty much the same thing, which is customize your desktop experience through the use of wallpapers and screensavers. So now that you've learned a little bit about our products and where we came from, let's talk a little bit about how this whole process works and how we generate revenue. It all starts with a consumer application download. And those are 3 really important words. Consumer, because you've seen our product. It's not for the IT manager, it's not for the business environment. This is consumers, these are the people usually buy our products at home. It's an application download, and that's very important because that's kind of how our business model works. This will not work on a web-based model. Why? Because if we move to the second stage, you can see that we install search properties. We're basically a distributor of search engines. That's what we do. as you download and install our application, because you like the functionality that we provide, mostly for free, in the process of downloading and installing it, we literally ask you, hey, since you're already downloading this, would you like to install some search properties from Google? From that point on, completely independent of you using our products, every time you perform a search, and a lot of people perform a lot of searches, I'm sure you know it's a $25 billion a year industry. Every time you search through our product, we share the revenue that Google then generates. And that's the fourth and last step, the revenues per click. I can't tell you exactly how much, what our share of the revenue is, because that's under NDA, but I will tell you we make more than half. So we make the majority of every dollar an advertiser pays Google to expose their advertisements to our users. And that's how the model works. The beauty of this thing is there's very little to no cost associated with it. Literally every dollar that comes in the top line trickles all the way down to the bottom line. Now, of course, we have operating expenses. We have to keep delivering these applications, and we have to market them, and we have to support them. All that is true. But there's very little to no direct cost, which is why our margins are so high. More than 75% of our revenues will be generated from these search-related activities. This chart demonstrates our monthly downloads and a trailing average of those downloads. And the reason that's important is because these downloads basically generate the searches that then generate the revenue. What you're seeing there, some of you obviously already see this from experience, is seasonality. It's not unique to IncrediMail. Pretty much any internet company will demonstrate the same kind of behavior. The reason is simple. It has to do with the change of seasons. In the summertime, people spend more time outdoors. Hence, they spend less time in front of a computer. Hence, they perform less searches and click less on sponsored links. So one of the worst days a year for us is the Super Bowl, because everybody's either outdoors or they're glued to the television and nobody's searching. Ironically, with the downtrend in the economy in the last year, we've seen an uptick for the very same reason. There's more people at home, more people searching. They could be searching for jobs, they could be searching for online deals, but whatever they're searching for, they're performing more searches. I can't give you an exact metric because, again, it's under NDA from Google, but if you take all of our revenues from search, and if you take all the searches that we generate, and I kind of gave you those numbers, you come up with 2 cents. 2 cents every time somebody searches. And that's how it all adds up. We literally add cents to make about $26 million a year. Monthly search queries, this is kind of how it breaks down. I said we generate about 100 million search queries per month, so that's it's a monthly number shown in an average per quarter. And this is kind of how it breaks down per the different products. So you can tell, of course, IncrediMail is still the leading product, but if you judge very closely, you can tell that Hayo, represented in the green, is growing very, very fast. Our P&L. So like I said, it's a profitable business, has been for a very long time. That, of course, is a forecast for 2009. It's an official guidance the company gave out for $26 million in sales and $9 million in operating income. There's 2 things that are interesting about the balance sheet. One is the long-term debt has been 0 and remains 0. And if you look at our cash position, this is a business that went public in January of 2006, raised just under $18 million in capital, and to date have not used a single dollar from the proceeds of that IPO. We remain cash flow positive. Our revenues continue to grow every year. We're still sitting on a pile of cash. So a very strong balance sheet. In fact, many times our balance sheet is stronger than the P&L because a lot of times we collect the money up front and only recognize the revenue on an ongoing basis. And let me conclude with a couple of screenshots. This is IncrediMail 2.0. What makes IncrediMail 2.0 unique is how you can sort all of your emails by attachments. So all those little things that make the difference in the UI and the user interface, you just click one email and say, you know what, take all the other emails away, show me only emails from this guy. And it just clears up, it works real fast, all the search capabilities make the user experience that much more unique. This is an example of PhotoJoy. This is actually a snapshot of my own wallpaper background. So you can see what we've done here is we've taken a professional looking template, but we've superimposed, in this case it's my own personal photos into that. So that's me and my wife on vacation in Mexico. These things are generated automatically on the fly. So all you have to do is tell PhotoJoy where your photos are. They can be online with Flickr, they can be on your hard drive, wherever they happen to be, and we'll generate this wallpaper using your own photos. Hio, what it does is adds these kind of animations. So if you used instant messaging before, you know you don't really see a lot of those. Basically, like the characters from Pulp Fiction, if you're chatting with somebody, instead of just saying something, you can send him an animation that will basically run on the other end. Very viral product. You can see why people like it so much. So just a couple of snapshots of our products. I assure you, very experienced management with proven track records in business and technology in Israel and the United States. That's me. That's our contact. I'll be happy to take any questions you might have.